Yeah, that speed boost gonna be such a great approaching tool, and then Mace TP it's gonna come out! They're going for cheese first and battle later, but it's gonna come out! The first pick on a dodecahedron! The rotation around the front! Frank the first to fall on Symmetra, but his job is done as the rest of Youngstown makes their way on. Boogie aggressing Dio, he's gonna fall, and the rest of Youngstown can do the rest of the damage. They're on point alone. The rest of Scranton falls. Your Season 3 D1 PC Overwatch champions, the Youngstown Yetis. The cheesiest, dumbest way possible.
But that was so smart at the same time.
That was so genius. Okay. Hey everyone, it's Tenrek with another championship interview. Today I have with me one of the support players for the PC D1 Season 3 Overwatch champions, the Youngstown Yetis, Cubixx. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was real nerve-wracking the whole entire season, honestly.
Well, I mean, I'm glad it paid off. Congratulations to you and the rest of the Yetis. First of all, I mean, Season 3 champions, how does it feel?
It's wild, honestly. When we lost I think it was our second or third match that we lost, we were like, oh, we were real hurt about not being in the finals, that we had to do another match to get back into the playoffs. And so we were all talking about it, and we were like discussing what happened with the last match and like what went wrong and everything, doing VOD reviews. And honestly, like us coming back with the win, we were not anticipating it at all, especially to go like, what was it, like 13-0 altogether. Overall, we were not expecting to be the Season 3 D1 champions this season at all, especially for being a new team too. And a lot of our players also, this is their first esports team that they've been on, like me as well. I tried out for an Xbox CGL team, and they were like, yeah, we'll play you, you'll be on off tank. And then I think I did one map and that was it. They were like, yeah, we'll keep in contact with you, and that was it.
Well, yeah, I mean, as an underdog team, it's a crazy start. I mean, you guys came out as the 5th seed, had to face off against so many powerhouses that I believe you had previously faced off during the season before. I mean, what was the difference in matches between the playoffs and the regular season? What changed?
Well, earlier in the season, we didn't really scrim too much or like get together. It was just kind of the matches that we had, that was just kind of it. That was like our play time all together. Or like maybe sometimes we would do like one scrim on the weekends. After we lost our first match, that really put all of our egos in check, because we were like, oh, all these teams, like we're rolling them right now. Obviously, like we have good comprehension and like cohesiveness as a team. Mm-hmm. And after we got that first loss against Erie, we were like, okay, we gotta figure out something. We gotta start taking this more serious. And then so we started doing more scrims and everything. Fright was finding us a lot of scrims and against like high level like masters, or I think we fought against maybe like 1 or 2 GM teams. And a lot of the teams we were fighting against really helped us grow as a team, because most of the teams were a lot harder and a lot more cohesive than some of the other previous teams that we faced. So it really helped us a lot grow as a team and individual skill overall.
Yeah, finding all those scrims thanks to the rest of your teammates must have been super helpful over time, especially, always playing from the bottom, always having to punch up.
Yeah, yep.
Now, I want to talk a little more about that cohesion. I know that Boogie is an amazing captain, and we already talked to Fright a little bit about this. But, tell me, as a new team, especially for this season, tell me how that chemistry developed over the course of the season for you guys to come out on top.
Well, when we first kind of all got to know each other, we kind of realized that, like, we all had the same kind of, like, humor, and, like, overall we just got along really well, whether it was for Overwatch or for the team itself, or like, it honestly just felt like we were kind of like a big group of friends. Boogie really took charge, and I don't want to say in the direct beginning, because we were still trying to figure out, who is more not talkative, but who's better at comms, who's better at doing this and that. And so over the course of the time, Boogie kind of took charge, and it helped us a lot, especially, that's what you want out of your main tank. You want them to be like, hey, I'm going to go aggressive here. I need to make sure that, you guys can support me. I had the follow-up. And so Boogie does do a lot of the calls, but when he's either picked off or like he's not there, we still have the same good level of communication, not as extreme because he's in, I don't know how long he's been in Masters or GM, but he knows a lot of like different counters and what to do real quickly, whereas I've been hard stuck plat forever. So I'm like, I like sit there and I'm like, okay, this is what we need to do. And it takes me like a minute. And then Boogie's like, okay, they have this, we need to do this. And I'm like, how'd you figure that out so fast, man? Like, but we all communicate very well. Sorry, my cats are fighting. We got a new cat and he doesn't get along with our other cats.
Oh.
No, we have overall really, really good communication. Especially being with Boogie has kind of helped all of us kind of get our own confidence up with comms and everything. So like now when I play ladder, I'm like almost not being quiet ever. I'm just almost always talking because I'm just so used to that. Noodles, come here. Noodles. We got him from my fiance's cousin. He wasn't getting along with his cat, and they had an older cat. So they were like, would you be able to hold Noodles? And we're like, yeah, we can take him. We have 3 cats and 4 dogs. Or four cats and 3 dogs. Wow. I had that backwards.
Dang.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a people. Fright and Doted, they have great comms, letting us know, like, hey, I'm going to ult here, or I don't have this cooldown up, or someone's flanking. Everyone overall, over the course of the playoffs, our communication has just like skyrocketed basically. Mm-hmm. I gotta say it's just mainly because Boogie was really there to help kind of push us in the right direction and everything. But overall it's a really, really great team. I don't think we've really had any like issues or like kind of toxicity within ourselves, because I've heard some teams kind of get tilted and be like, well, our supports were terrible, if you guys would have done this we would have been fine. But like when we sit down and talk after scrims or do VOD reviews, we're like, hey, like, what were you doing here? And I'll be like, oh, I was trying to do this, or like, you know, someone else is trying to explain. And so we kind of sit down and figure out what our weaknesses are and try to grow on that as a team, so we don't have to worry about having those weak areas for the enemy team to just like basically just plow right through us and kind of roll us from there.
Communication is very key for the team comps and strats that you guys try to pull, and it's also a great skill to bring into CompQ for sure. But I want to talk about the differences between CompQ and the games that you got to play in Tech League, because you know when it comes to especially you as a support main, mainly on Lucio, as far as I know, especially for the games. You know, pulling off those speed boosts and those AoE heals at the right moments, especially with a team as insanely aggressive as the Youngstown Yetis were, because you guys pushed so quickly and efficiently every single fight. It was really hard to keep up with casting, honestly. How does game sense shift for you when it comes to pushing in comp ladder compared to a Tech League game?
I have to kind of understand that my team isn't going to be as cohesive, and most of the time they're not going to listen to me even if I have like, you know, really great calls, or like, hey, you know, their far is destroying us, could we get some type of counter, or like our tank line needs to hold better instead of just, you know, overextending every fight. But I understand because I've been playing Overwatch. I started off on console and Xbox. I've been playing for a good while now. But I'm used to already how the ladder is with either toxicity throwers or overall people just not listening to you. But I try to not let that affect my gameplay. I try to kind of look at the team and be like, all right, I know if I had Boogie here, I wouldn't have to worry about trying to be as aggressive, but since our main tank and ladder isn't being aggressive, I need to kind of try to pick up that slack to try to help the team overall. And I know that's a part of climbing as well. I enjoy the tech matches and the Yeti fights so much more than ladder. I play ladder now and I'm like, this is terrible. Like, this is so bad. Just playing Overwatch. Yeah. I'd say playing Overwatch cohesively is so much different than everyone kind of doing their own thing. It makes it so much
It's
more enjoyable too.
it's really hard to go back to especially solo queue. Absolutely. Um, I want to talk about that last play on Eichenwald. Um, I know that you guys we talked about it with Fright, you know, the night of the game. You know, I know you guys found it originally in like a car queue video or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but be honest with me. Did you guys think it would work?
So we had tried the May TP strat in scrims for a good while. I think we had tried it like 4 or 5 times overall, maybe, and most of the time it didn't work out.
Mhm.
And most of the time too, Fright was on Sim, Fright was on main, Dota was on Sim, and
Mhm.
during the Eichenwald fight, we were like, Fright decided to go Sim instead, and Dota went May for the first time. And so we weren't thinking it was going to work out too well because we were like, oh, this is the first time Dota's going to be putting the May wall up. Like, not saying he's bad, but he doesn't play May as much as Fright does. So we were like, his wall might be a little off. We might not be able to get the TP up. And it actually worked out that time. I think only one person got left behind. But most of the time when we'd run it on scrims, like maybe 2 of us got over the wall. And so we just kept practicing it. Yeah, we just kept practicing it in scrims, and then we decided we're like, let's go for it. Like, we've tried it out enough times. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We have another match. But fortunately, it did work out for us, so that's really nice.
Yeah, what an improvement to the point where it's the play that won you the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, congratulations. And you know, my final question to you is, what's next for the Yetis? What's going to get you guys season 4?
I don't know who all is staying in D1 with the Yetis, honestly, because I think Fright is, but I know Boogie and I think Dota have talked about going to a different team because they're out of state. I want to say they're in Florida, maybe. Yeah, a lot of our team, or a lot of the Yetis are out of state, so they're thinking about switching teams just to try to like more so get around the league more, just to see kind of more what it's all about and everything.
Right.
But we did play a match Thursday against, I don't remember what team it was, but it was a team Fright found. They were called the Tortega Blackjacks, and we 3-1 them. But it was a really nice match though, and it was kind of nice because a lot of us haven't been playing as much since the season ended.
Mhm.
So it was really nice kind of getting back all together and kind of running a match and enjoying that, like the cohesiveness of Overwatch for like one last time. Hopefully it's not the last time, but
Of course.
yeah.
Well, best of luck to you and your
Thank
team
you.
in the next season. But for now, continue to enjoy your championship of the season previous. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, Cubixx. It was really great to have you.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone for watching another championship interview. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch at The Esport Company, and join our Discord server for updates as soon as they come out. We'll see you next time.